Okay, so what I'm going to talk about today, or in this video, is why you should get the paid version of TradingView if you're serious about 2025's bull run. And even if you're an investor, the reason why I suggest you get the paid version is because you'll be able to snipe bigger DCA zones. So, for example, on the daily and weekly are the only two time frames you have on the free version. Zooming in will allow you to DCA because this is a DCA zone, right? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You're just DCAing every day through chop. But look at at this point. You'll be able to pinpoint when you can start DCAing heavier because you know that we're approaching this moving average. And I'll talk about that later, but it's an example. This is the daily chart. On the weekly, it's still the same thing. That moving average doesn't change, but because it's locked to to 200 days. But you'll be able to know to DCA heavier within this area, right? And that's what's powerful for investors, to know when to go heavier because a move is coming. You can identify those areas. And that's really powerful to maximize your capital. And what it also does, as for an investor, is you can set alerts. So on the weekly, so for example, you have a trend that looks like this. Or let's go back a bit. Turn off the volume because it's really distracting. And then we'll go turn this on, select. Actually, yeah, we don't need to do that. But my point is, you'll know when to start going a little heavier. So for example, here, we're above, you can DCA heavier because it looks like the Bitcoin wanted to make a move above the average, and this is acting as support. So you can go heavier because we're on an uptrend. But once we have that explosive move, you can chill on DCAing heavier because you've already maximized this area of your capital for dollar cost averaging. You went heavier because you knew, you zoomed in, being able to identify with the indicators and price action that things wanted to start cooking pretty hot. And look at that move that you got from DCAing here. So your heavier DCA strategy would have netted you 165% extra on top of your regular DCA. Right? So that's why I encourage even investors to get the paid version. You can get the basic one because you won't need as many alerts. But another good thing about alerts is if you're tracking a weekly trend, that'll be the trend. You can set an alert on the trend line saying, once price breaks out, notify me, because that means I should start paying attention. And that's a misconception about traders versus investors. Investors will be like, I don't want to stare at the charts all day like a trader. Traders, good traders, efficient traders don't. What they do is they set alerts. They live their life. They don't look at the charts 24/7. Some do because they love it. But you don't have to. You just set an alert. And like I said, once it breaks out, your, TradingView app on your phone or even on your desktop will be like, alert executed. You can even put a note saying, look at the price. It's on whatever token, it's starting to do something. And you literally wrote that maybe let's look at this trend example. Maybe that's the trend there, yeah. This trend, at this point, we had the second touch, so we know that that is something we can follow. And select bar. Let's say that's all the data we had. And then you set the alert style, or whoops. You can set the alert from right clicking. Come on, baby. Work properly. I guess it doesn't do it from there. You just got to go click the hotbar for the object. Click add alert. Oh, it's not available in replay mode. Shit. That's why. Take off replay. But my point being is that we only had this data point here, and you wanted to know when it would break, so you can start paying attention with the oscillator, the indicators, right? So what you do is you click the alert, and then you have so many different options. Crossing up, crossing down, but these are the only two that I use, crossing up or down, depending on what my intentions are. If it's an uptrend, I use crossing down. If it's an uptrend, crossing up, or vice versa, sorry. If it's a downtrend, I want to know when it's crossing up above it. So I'll click crossing up only once, or once per bar close. And depending on the time frame that you're using, that's the alert that's going to be triggered for the candle closes. So if I chose candle close, on the weekly chart, it's going to notify me once it closes above it or outside of it. Above means outside, on the other side of the trend. So on the weekly, it'll only tell me once the candle closes. And I suggest doing that on the daily if you're an investor, because in a week, it can pump 100% during the bull market. You want to do it for the daily, or as an investor, if you do have the paid version, maybe the 12-hour. So it'll tell you as soon as the first 12-hour candle closes outside, start paying attention to it. Don't buy immediately, but you can start paying attention to it as an investor. Right? So with the strategy that I showed you about the oscillators, not this one, but the RSI and stochastic RSI, then you can pinpoint a move. Let's look at the stochastic RSI. I don't have it on because I don't use it as much anymore. Relative strength index. Collapse this. Bring this to the top. No, that's the one at the bottom. I want this one at the top. So zooming into lower time frames, you'll see a lot more noise on the oscillators. As you can see, it's really noisy, but the same principle applies. Crossing above, once you see it curl up aggressively, and above the median, above 50, same idea applies. The only difference is, remember how on the weekly time frame, you want it from 70 to 30. On a lower time frame, below the daily, or daily and below, 80 and 20 is what you want to look for. So you don't have to set it unless you're a visual person. You can look here. You can drag your cursor to the right and it'll show you. So yeah, that's the benefit of having paid the paid version of TradingView. You can set alerts so you can live your life and only look at the chart when you need to look at it. You don't even have to look. Sometimes it'll be like you'll set an alert. The alert we set is for crossing this trend line. The first data point, we would have set it here. Okay, now we have a trend. And if we look at the daily, how long did this trend last for? Where is our tool to measure the day? So the trend started here, ended here. 416 days to get that notification. But look what you got once you started paying attention on the weekly. Let's look at the weekly here. Oh yeah, check that out. You would have caught that heavy DCA here. Right there. Crossing above. Looks juicy. Looks juicy. You know, you would have got that whole move that Bitcoin went from 17,000 all the way to 98 just by having that alert set from this data point. You set that alert. Let's do a little more accurate representation because we realistically would have set it here, but that trend lasted 413 days. And then you set your alert at this data point and you waited 252 days to get that explosive move. And that whole time during 252 days, you didn't have to look at the charts once. And that's why it's important to be able to have that, you know, that tool available to you, which is, you know, a carpenter doesn't skimp out on his tools. He buys good tools that'll last him a while to produce good work. Good work in crypto market is getting this kind of shit, like, you know, explosive moves. And that's why I encourage you to get the paid suite, because you can also have multiple indicators. And as a trader, you're gonna need not as many as I do. I just keep these here because sometimes I switch back and forth and like my style changes. But I have the I forget what version I have, but I can show you how to like the different tiers. I'm shamelessly gonna shill my referral link, which I never do, but I'm not trying to get, you know, referrals from you. I'm trying to give you the tools and the reasons. But you don't have to as an investor, but you will have such a bigger edge. Like I just showed you that you can live your life the way you want to, spend your time the way you want to without having to look at the charts all the time. Yeah. So you'll be able to have your oscillators, and like I will show this oscillator package to traders much later because I found this one. It's a paid one, but it's so fucking powerful that you're gonna want this, and it comes with other ones that work in confluence with it. So you're gonna need at least the basic or the premium. I think that's a middle tier package, and like your alerts are limited per tier. I forget how much, but we'll look at it after, like I said. But the benefit to the paid version is you want to have the advantage in 2025 for that bull run. And if you're watching this in the future or whenever past 2025, the same thing applies. The benefit of having the paid one is that you can snipe entries, you can be more accurate, you can be less active. The irony of being more active is that you're less active, if that makes sense. More active in a sense that, you know, you're paying for things, you're being more active in your trading career or investing career by doing less, paying for this shit to live your life by waiting 252 days for that breakout and knowing, you know, you should start paying attention. That's like my biggest thing that I use in TradingView, the alerts, because I have a life to live, right? I don't want to sit here looking at their charts all day, but some days I like to do it. You know, I don't have to, but I like to. And for example, if you have a coin that has run up like Doge, just look at Doge. We're looking at the weekly. Like, holy shit. How do you buy this? You know that it's a strong coin or project or whatever it is, but you don't buy this shit. That's buying the top. So what do? You identify support, resistance, and I'll show that in another video. And then you set your alerts on those hot zones. Like I had some here before that breakout, expecting a retest around here, but that didn't come. So what do? I just move my alerts. After I identify zones, this looks like one, because, you know, we got some candle action here. It bounced here, and another one bounced there. So I'll set another alert there. So the next time price visits that, whenever it wants to, I'll be notified saying, hey, price hit a hot zone, a crucial horizontal support, or broke out. You know, pay attention. Look at your oscillators. Make a decision. And that's why it's powerful. Okay? Okay. So what you can also do too with the paid version is make what the fuck are these called? What the fuck are these called? Lists. You can create lists. So this one is all the ones that I'm in, and I always have Bitcoin at the top just because it's, you know, whatever my altcoins that I'm watching. So anything that I have in the in is the ones that I'm in currently, but I'm not in this right now. I'm not in anything right now because the market kind of, I don't know. I don't have confidence in it right now. Not that I'm bearish, but, you know, I expect a small pullback, but that's just me. That's my bias, my strategy, and what my system tells me. So I'm not in anything right now. Anything at the bottom here was things that I was in before, much recently, that I want to keep an eye on. And sometimes I'll delete them, sometimes I won't. But cooking is something that I have a limit order on, and then I put it in there. But that's my in. That's the one that I touch the most. I have one command. I've showed this in my previous video, but I deleted it for some reason. Command is like USDT dominance, total 3, market cap, different market caps, Wall Street. I call that Wall Street for some reason, but that's like TradFi. It's got the SPX, and like everywhere that I check, like market conditions basically. This is where I check. That's why I call it command center. I have BTC dominance, multiple charts of BTC, different exchanges, the index, and I have ETH in there as well, and for some reason Nvidia's in there. But it helps you organize. You can have these things as long-term, short-term, AI, gaming tokens. You can stay very, very organized, right? So that's the benefit also of having lists. It keeps you very organized to know what you're looking at, the things you want to look at, the things you are waiting for. Just different. You might use it differently, but the fact that you can be organized, you know, that's a big help to having more success during the bull run, right? You know, set yourself up for success. You might not even use them, but I never used them for the longest time. But then I started thinking like, you know, I'm too smart to use those. I don't need those. I can just remember. Fuck no. I can't. So I started getting organized, and I started seeing more success. Because there's memes here. I used to have more, but right now I started doing a cleanup because it was getting too messy. But you can have memes, AI, like I was saying, and different subsections, blockchains. There's a lot more that I have to add, but layer 2s, layer 1s, you can be so fucking organized that it will, you know, increase your rate of success. So, speaking on that, oh, there's a Black Friday sale. So if you're catching this video during Black Friday, so these are the different, oh, since I'm already paying for it, I pay for the Plus plan. Let's see. How do I fucking... Oh, I got an idea. Come on! I'm learning this the same time as you. You know what? We'll sign out. Sign back in after. You can pay monthly. Or there you go. Oh, wait. So you gotta sign in, motherfucker. Explore offers. Anyways. Yeah, I suggest taking advantage of these deals because they're pretty good. For 13 months, that's way cheaper than I'm paying. I might even take advantage of this. Oh, that's the essential. So, I want them to show what the fuck it has, dude. We'll Google it. Trading View subscriptions. Oh, there we go. So, if you want to test things out, monthly. The essential is try free. Oh, there you go. Try free for 30 days. Amazing. So, I think this is the one that I have. Yeah, there you see, like, the essential will be totally good for a beginner trader or an investor. 20 price alerts. That's amazing. How many? 5 indicators. That's perfect. So I highly suggest, if you're starting out and you're really serious, get the essentials package, because that's really powerful to have this price alerts, the technical alerts, and the indicators, the more than one indicator, for $14 a month. You can easily, like, my trading view, yeah, sure, I pay for it, but I make the money back that I paid for by using it. So it's an investment. It's a tool. Your tool to make more money, right? You're a carpenter selling shit, using the tools, and it pays for itself. So I highly suggest getting this at least. Or if you want to go annually, you know, you get $2 off a month. Whoopie-doo. I'm stupid sometimes and don't take advantage of, oh, just fucking $2, but you save 24 bucks a year. Yeah, 100%. I'm like, I can't stress enough how important it is to get these things, because you're gonna be able to not have to look at the charts all the time, and like, really fucking powerful. So, yeah, I highly suggest, and I'm gonna put my link in the bottom, the description. I hate to be that guy, but I'm only telling you to get it because it really makes a big difference. So yeah, I told you why, I told you the benefits, I told you what to do and where to get it, but tradingview.com, test it out on the monthly. It's free for 30 days. And I will talk about in other videos how to take advantage of the alerts, how to, you know, set up more than one indicator, and you can even have 2 charts per tab. So you can look at Bitcoin and Ethereum at the same time if you wanted to, but if you have a big screen it helps, but if you have a small one, don't bother doing that. But yeah, really suggest that for $14 a month to start with. You probably won't ever have to change that, like, depending on how serious you are. The reason why I got the plus is because I set a lot of alerts, because I do a lot of scalping and like different time frames. I have different strategies, so I look at a lot of different. Sometimes I'll have like 5 different alerts on one coin, right? So the 100 runs out, or the 20 runs out pretty fast for me personally. But starting off, to get a feel for things, until you need more, the Essentials package is fantastic. Okay. So I'll sign back into mine. Sign in. I'm going to blank my screen for a bit because it's top secret. Alright, we're back in. Shabam! Now you can see. But Black Friday is a thing, and I think it only works on the annual. Minus 40% is pretty fucking dandy. $143. I might just do it. But yeah. Reload this because I'm signed back in. Yeah, I can't stress enough how important it is and how powerful having that indicator, that notification feature for trends and horizontals. For example, I can set an alert here. I'll zoom in. Like if you're a horizontal, like if you're looking at horizontals, like for example this, I want to know when it makes a higher high because I know when it broke the trend. I'm not going to sit there and watch it. I'm going to set an alert at this price here, add alert on BTC at 69K. Boom, we got our alert. Once it crosses above this price, I'll know that we broke trend and we made a higher high. Now I start paying attention to price. I look at the charts a little more than I used to because it told me to pay attention. And what you can do with the alert, if you have many set, you can set the message, BTC crossing, blah, 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 and set buy zone at yada yada. You can even type yourself a note because like I said, that alert you set on that weekly trend that when Bitcoin broke out, that happened 252 days later, you're not going to fucking remember probably. But when you get it, you're like, oh yeah, I set this alarm because my thesis was once we break it, we could potentially get a really explosive move because yada yada, weekly time frame, yada 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 yada. So that's why it's so important to have alerts. And that's like one of the only reasons you would need to pay for TradingView. $14 a month, not bad at all. Alright, so yeah, link in the description down below. You know what to do. You don't even have to use my referral link if you fucking aren't into that shit. You're like, oh, this guy's a sellout, blah blah blah, yada yada. I don't give a shit. I'm just trying to help you succeed by, giving you the tools or like know what to do. Use it or don't use it. It's up to you. All right. Love y'all.